Hey everyone, I'm Trevor, and today we are at Walt Disney World to take you on the ultimate food tour of EPCOT. We're going to show you everywhere you can get a bite to eat that is not during a food festival. So this food's here all year round, so let's get going. We are going to begin our food tour right here because this is the best frame of reference. If you are coming in through the buses or monorail, you're going to come in from that entrance over there, and this is going to be your point of reference. If you're coming in from one of the resort hotels that are on the Skyliner Loop, it's going to be a totally different location, and I'll tell you where we are whenever we get to that point. You can go to the right, which is going to take you towards the land and the seas, or to the left, which is going to take you towards Test Track and Cosmic Rewind. We're actually going to start off over there. First up on the left-hand side of Spaceship Earth in Future World, or whatever they're calling it now, is the Connections Cafe. Now, this is not to be confused with the Connections Eatery, which we'll mention in just a bit. Connections Cafe is just Epcot's Starbucks. Every single Walt Disney World park has a Starbucks location, and the Connection Cafe is the one here in Epcot. As you can see, there is quite a lot of seating in here. This is a newer building, so of course they were able to make sure there's plenty of seating options. Tucked in this little hallway here is Club Cool. Now this isn't really much of a food location, but it's definitely still worth coming in. You can get some drinks in here. I guess there is some food in the back I forgot about. But the big draw for coming in here is going to be to come up to this wall over here and to try the different Cokes from around the world. At the far back though, they do have this little nook cafe where you can get some ice cream floats and frozen beverages. So for spatial awareness, we have Test Track there, Mission Space there, Cosmic Rewind here, and one of Epcot's newest quick service locations is right in here, the Connections Eatery. And here's a look at their menus. They have a French bistro burger, a Southwestern burger, a chicken sandwich, classic burger, and then a 5-cheese pizza, whatever that word is, style salad, General Tso chicken salad, which I've had before, and they also have the apple pie gelato shake, which I've also gotten before. You can mobile order for here, or you can come and wait in line as well. It doesn't look like they're quite open. There is a lot of seating in here. It is very modern looking, and you should give it a try at least once. Next, we have one of Epcot's newest restaurants, Space 220, and it's located next to Mission Space. You're actually going to take this skinny, narrow hallway right here, and the restaurant is actually behind this building. If you've never been to Space 220, there are actually 2 restaurants in there. I mean, it's the same restaurant, but when you're making a reservation, and reservations are required, there are 2 different locations. There's Space 220 Restaurant and Space 220 Lounge. Now, the lounge is easier to get into, but it doesn't offer the same food. It's different food, so be aware. They have like bites and drinks mostly, and the bites are large enough to be considered meals, but it's not the like full course meal situation that you get from the actual restaurant itself. Now, when we went, we ordered 3 different drinks, all non-alcoholic. We don't do alcohol. We took my oldest son because he loves space, and he had a really great time. We ordered 2 different food items, the chicken on waffle firstly, as well as the short rib slider. Both were fantastic. At this point in time, I've backtracked a little bit to, again, this frame of reference. Now we're going to turn right and head towards the land and the seas. This is the end of April 2023. Construction walls still abound. If you're curious, you'll have to wiggle your way through all of them here in the entrance area to Epcot. This path we're taking spits us out here, and you might be tempted to go straight where everyone else is going, but we're going to spin off here to the right because Coral Reef Restaurant is over here. Now, it's not open yet, so I can't get in there. I've eaten here once before, maybe twice. It's been a really, really long time, so I don't have any footage, or I have very minimal footage. What you're seeing is all that I have. And you can eat basically right beside a giant aquarium, which is pretty awesome. I mean, that's the best part of the restaurant, is going in there and dining next to the massive, huge aquarium. The aquarium is the one that is inside the seas, which is just fun tidbit for you, as the second largest tank in the United States. The largest tank is in the Georgia Aquarium in Atlanta, Georgia, but the second largest is here in Epcot, and you can dine right next to it, the Coral Reef Restaurant. The food in there, though, just average. We're gonna bypass the seas, and we're actually gonna walk over that way towards the land. Inside the land, we're gonna find 2 restaurants of note. From the moment you walk in, you'll see the Garden Grill restaurant straight ahead. The Garden Grill restaurant is a giant circle revolving restaurant, and it's a family-style dining, and it goes right up against Living with the Land. You can see Living with the Land actually from the restaurant itself. Garden Grill restaurant is not currently serving breakfast. There's a notice on their website saying that on June 14th, 2023, they'll begin resuming breakfast, and it is a character meal with Chip and Dale. I'm not sure if there are any other characters. I've never actually come to Garden Grill. It's on one of my to-dos. If you love characters, this is definitely something you're going to want to do. I have eaten at revolving restaurants before. They're very, very cool, and definitely come give Garden Grill a chance if that sounds like something that would interest you, especially if you love the land, because you'll get to see the land attraction from the restaurant as you eat. And here we have Sunshine Seasons. The sunshine's kind of hard to see there in the rays up at the top, but this is a quick service location that anybody can come to. It does not have mobile order. It's very cafeteria style. So you just walk in here, grab some food items, put them on your tray, and then when you have everything that you need, you just come back here to check out. And here's a brief look at some of the menus. So this one's just desserts. And you can see some of those desserts, right here displayed before you. This one's grab yourself desserts. Over here we have a roast beef sandwich, birria tacos, and a Mediterranean vegetable sandwich. And beside that, we have stir-fried chicken, Mongolian beef, stir-fried shrimp, and vegetable korma. A display of grab-and-go fruits here. Next, we have Asian vegetable noodle salad, power salad, Caesar salad. And the final station down here, where you'll find oak grilled rotisserie chicken, oak grilled salmon, and some kids menu items. I have eaten at Sunshine Seasons before, but I feel like they're constantly changing the menus. So the food that I'm showing you may not be the food that's available. It's a decent place. It's a good one to come to for a wide variety of options, and definitely plenty of sitting, especially if you're going to be riding some of the rides in here or seeing the show Awesome Planet. Since you're already here, you might as well do it. But there are other places around the World Showcase that I think deserve your attention. Here at EPCOT, and really any Walt Disney World park, you are going to encounter a variety of carts that have popcorn or ice cream, and they are literally located all over the park. We're not going to highlight every single one of them, but just be aware that you can pretty much find popcorn and popcorn buckets. There's a Skyliner popcorn bucket just about anywhere. And honestly, that's it for that side of Future World, or whatever they're calling it now too. Now we're gonna head through the World Showcase, but we have to get there first. New point of reference, there is Spaceship Earth. Now we're flipping around here, headed straight ahead to the World Showcase. When you come to EPCOT, there will be one of 3 festivals going on. Either Food and Wine Festival in the fall, Flower and Garden Festival in the spring, or the Festival of the Arts that goes on at the beginning of the year. I don't know the exact dates on all of these, but I have been here for every single one of these festivals at one point, and these festivals span a huge portion of time. And each one's gonna have different booths, each one's gonna have different food. My goal is not to show you those booths because that food is gonna change if you're coming a little bit later on. What I wanna show you is the food that's gonna be here no matter what. So I'm gonna do my best not to include a food festival booth, but I cannot guarantee that with 100% certainty. Now, generally, I prefer to go clockwise, so I would prefer to go that way towards the Mexico Pavilion. However, we're actually going to be swinging a right and going this way, counterclockwise, around the World Showcase. And that's because I have to quickly get to France. I have a lightning lane available for Remy's Ratatouille, and it's the 3rd country going this direction. So we're going to go counterclockwise. It's currently 10:50, so not all of these places are open, but they will be opening shortly. And the first one we're gonna come across is the refreshment port on the right-hand side here. This is located just outside the Canada Pavilion. It's where you're gonna find your traditional poutine, a Canadian dish, as well as the shrimp scampi poutine. I've never actually eaten there or had the poutine, though I plan to a little bit later on today if it works out right before I hop over to Hollywood Studios. This is my 12th visit to Walt Disney World. I've been here 12 different times over my life, most of them within the last couple of years. And actually 3 previous of my trips are here on the channel for you to check out if you want to check those out. But I do know a lot about where things are located, what food is offered. I have eaten at a lot of these places, but there's so much food here at Epcot that 12 visits is just not enough to be able to show you food from everything. The big one here in Canada is going to be Le Cellier. And you're going to find that restaurant down this way, right beneath that castle there. Le Cellier is a signature dining location, which means that it's pretty pricey. I have eaten here once before. Very long time ago. I was a teenager at the time, but beautiful, beautiful sights as you walk down here. Canada Far and Wide is also located down this way, which is their Circle Vision show. So you can come down here. You don't have to go to the restaurant to come down here. You know, you can go to Canada Far and Wide without that. But right here is Le Cellier Steakhouse. Now we're gonna keep moving forward this way. There's the lagoon for your reference. To our right before we leave Canada is going to be a Joffrey's cart. There's lots and lots of Joffrey's coffee located throughout the park. The Giant King donuts here, though, are not to be missed. If you've never had a Giant King donut, these things are amazing. They're the biggest, softest, sweetest donuts you've ever had. I really, really want one, like really bad, but I've got other food allotments I need to give today. Now we're entering the UK Pavilion, and off to the left is going to be the Rose and Crown. Here at the Rose and Crown, I'll just pan down the menu for you. I have eaten here before. It's one of my wife's favorite places to come to because her parents grew up in England. She has family in England, so we come here all the time. They do have both a dining room and a pub, so you can get some alcoholic beverages here if you just want some alcohol. My favorite thing to get here is the shepherd's pie. Amy likes to get bangers and mash, and the sticky toffee pudding is always a favorite for dessert. That's like the highlight of our trip to Walt Disney World for Amy, sticky toffee pudding. Just to the right of Rose and Crown is the Yorkshire County Fish Shop. And yes, it's Yorkshire, not Yorkshire, Yorkshire County Fish Shop. You can get some fish and chips here. There's a little picture, and a look at that price for you. If you're wondering where to eat, they've got a few tables up here for the Yorkshire County Fish Shop. Right now we're at the in-between of France and the UK, and I wanted to show you that if you have one of the hotels that are on the Skyliner Loop, those are going to be the deluxe resorts like Beach Club, Boardwalk, and Yacht Club, as well as Caribbean Beach, Pop Century, and Art of Animation. You're all going to come in this direction, and you'll come up here, and this is the spot where you will officially enter Epcot. So we've got the UK Pavilion right there. We're going to swing this way, go over the bridge, and head towards France. It is 11:01 and I have 9 minutes to get to Remy's Ratatouille for my lightning lane. If you do get a lightning lane, I know this is a food video, not a lightning lane video, but you do have 15 minutes to be late. And the other day I used one, I was an hour late and it still let me in. Ratatouille is France's newest addition, and with it actually comes a whole new little land. And if you don't come back here, you're gonna miss some of the food locations that are in Epcot's France Pavilion. And to our right here is La Crêperie de Paris. I don't know if I pronounced that right. And there are actually two restaurants here. So they have a sit-down restaurant, which is inside, and then they have a walk-up quick service window here where you can get some crepes. And here's a look at the menu for La Crêperie de Paris. If you want to know what you can get at the window, here is just a look at that menu. I grabbed a crepe this morning and found these cute little tables right here with an amazing view. If at any time throughout this video you want some longer looks at menus, just hit that pause button. I'll still be here when you're ready to continue. I've worked my way back now to the front entrance of the France Pavilion, and over here off to the left, we have Les Chefs de France. just gonna pan the menu. Now, Chefs de France was somewhere that my family used to come quite a lot whenever we would come on big family vacations with my extended family. And so I've eaten here quite a few times, probably at least 3 separate times, though all before my vlogging days. So I have no footage of any of this food, but I have eaten here. It's pretty great food. The one complaint that I have is that it's almost impossible to read what these menu items are. But it does have a description underneath, thankfully. And here is just a look at the inside, sort of. That's a little better. Now from this point, we're actually gonna go back in this little nook. To our left is a signature dining location, Monsieur Paul. And I mean expensive. Just look at the menu. I've never eaten here, and I don't really plan to, just being honest with you. But I have eaten over here at l'Artisan des Glaces. This is an ice cream location here in the France Pavilion, and it doesn't look like it's quite open yet. But this has got like little dainty ice creams. It's like, you know, I don't know what you call it, fancy ice cream. And it's good ice cream, very, very good. Definitely check it out. And way in the back is probably the gem of Epcot, Les Halles. This is a phenomenal place to come get some croissants, get some desserts, sandwiches, quiche, you name it here. The one major drawback is that seating is extremely limited in here, and I mean extremely. You'll often have to do what these folks are doing and just find a curb and sit. We make it a point of going there on every single visit to get at least something. Now, you might be tempted to think that all carts are part of a festival, but that's not the case. This one, Les Vins des Chefs de France, don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, is a place where you can get some wine associated with Chefs de France, which is the main restaurant located right there. We're now leaving France behind and heading into Morocco. Now, Morocco used to have quite a few food options. They're now kind of a bit devoid. The Tangerine Cafe over here off to the right used to be a quick service location where you can get some Mediterranean type flavors. It's open, obviously, you see the doors open, but it is currently functioning as a festival booth, so they just have like bites for the festivals located in there. The quick service is gone. And then right next to it is the only open dining location, Spice Road Table. And you can take a look here. I really want to eat here sometime. It's mostly just appetizers though. So, you know, they're really, really expensive appetizers. I mean, $14. It's probably not like super duper expensive, but the portion sizes are going to be a little smaller because they are appetizers. So you're meant to order a bunch of them, try different things, that sort of thing. So you probably expect somewhere in the ballpark of 35 to 40 a person coming here to Spice Road Table. And here's a look at the dining area. Now, there's nothing back here right now, but we are gonna come this direction anyway. Now, way back here in the depths of Morocco is Restaurant Marrakesh. Now, I'm a Disneylander, not a Walt Disney Worlder, so my information might not be 100% here, but I'm pretty sure Restaurant Marrakesh has not come back since COVID. And so I don't know when it's gonna open, but it's been closed for quite some time. When it does reopen, there'll be another restaurant located here in Morocco. Disney's website does list Restaurant Marrakesh as temporarily unavailable. So it's not gone, but their website also doesn't have any red text on it like the Garden Grill does that tells me what date it will be reopening. So I just don't think it's going to be anytime soon. A little booth here at the tail end of Morocco is Oasis Sweets and Sips. And over here, you're just going to find an assortment of pastries and slushies. So you got the pomegranate slushie on the right. It's got some citrusy flavors, pretty good. And then the almond gariba on the left, which is a nice light and fluffy type cake, but it's, I mean, it's a little bit, it's not dense. It's airy, I guess that's the right word for it. And if you love almond flavored things like almond paste and that sort of thing, this is a phenomenal little snack to get. As we leave Morocco behind, we enter my favorite of the countries here at Epcot, Japan. We're gonna come into here and go straight ahead to that yellow building. But we're gonna take the scenic route because why not? Isn't this gorgeous? bonsai trees, and it looks like they do have some tables over here for the Katsura Grill. And there are yet even more outdoor tables for Katsura Grill up here. And a waterfall, and a waterfall, and another waterfall. But you do actually enter the restaurant from over on this side. And in here they have some indoor dining, and we'll take a look at the menu. So we have sushi, noodles and salad, shrimp and teriyaki chicken, chicken cutlets, and more. I came to Katsura Grill in Japan, and I got the chicken and beef teriyaki. Comes with white rice and steamed vegetables. Now up here at the top of these steps are two restaurants, Teppan Edo and Tokyo Dining. Now we're not gonna actually go inside, I'm just gonna go over here to talk. Now's a great time to tell you, if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to book your own Walt Disney World vacation, go ahead and call my friends at Getaway today and tell them that SoCal Disney Dad sent you, and they'll give you $10 off your next package. Additionally, you can click the link down in the description, which is an affiliate link, so that I get the credit for the sale. I earn a small commission, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. Teppan Edo is probably one of my favorite food locations at EPCOT. It's one that we frequent a lot. It's a hibachi grill, and there's a show involved with it. They, make your food directly there in front of you. You'll often find a little volcano they make for you. They might play some games with you, toss shrimp in your mouth or whatever. That's just typical hibachi grill stuff. I really don't remember what they do here. It's been a year, but you'll see some footage right now of the food and the experience that I had the last time that I was here. I did say I like to pick a different place every time we come, and Teppan Edo is one that I've frequented quite a lot in most recent years. So I don't always pick new places. I do have my favorites, and I do make sure that I hit them as well. Now we're going to try to find the entrance to Takumi Te, which is the signature dining location here in Japan. I've never actually seen it before, though. I think it's tucked away back here. And this, I believe, is the booth for it, and that would be the entrance right there. It's very nondescript. But there is this little signboard out front here that's going to give us the menu. Now, take a look at that. $250 is what I take that $250 to mean. This thing is expensive, but it is a full course meal. I'm pretty sure you get every single one of these things on this menu. And our last food location in Japan is going to be Kabuki Cafe. And here you can get basically shaved ice, except for they call it kakigori. It's Japanese shaved ice. And you can see those flavors there. They also have some slushies and sushi. Time to leave Japan behind and enter into America. First up is going to be this little booth here. It says funnel cakes. It doesn't have a name. It's literally just funnel cake. You can get a regular funnel cake with add-ons or a cookies and cream funnel cake. Then right next to that is a little booth called Block and Hans. And here is where you're going to be able to get some alcoholic beverages. So Block and Hans is over there off to the right of the American Adventure. Directly to the left of that is Fife and Drum. And here at the Fife and Drum, you can get popcorn, but also those jumbo turkey legs. Behind the Fife and Drum, there's going to be some seating, and this is outdoor dining for the Regal Eagle Smokehouse. The Regal Eagle opened in February of 2020, just before the COVID shutdowns, and thankfully it did reopen when the parks reopened later that year. I've never actually come in here before. In fact, I've never eaten here before, which is what we're going to do right now. In here, you can get a wide array of barbecue foods. I got the North Carolina chopped smoked pork butt platter, which you will see in just a minute. Well, first blush of my meal here is that it seems really small, but I bet you I'm going to find that as I start eating it, this is quite filling. It does kind of look like a big pile of meat the more that I'm looking at it. It was just when they first slid it out on the tray, it, took up hardly any room on this big tray that they gave me. And a lot of satisfaction in food plating comes with making it look full, and this isn't. That pork butt platter is fantastic. And yes, it's definitely very filling. The more that I dig into it, the more that I'm wondering if I can finish this. The garlic toast leaves much to be desired. It was my first time at the Regal Eagle Smokehouse, courtesy of you guys. Before I came here, I put a couple of places I was interested in going to here at EPCOT in a community poll, and you voted for me to come to the Regal Eagle. And it was very good. So thank you guys. Appreciate it very much. Now let's continue our tour. Moving on past America, we're entering Italy. One of Italy's newest eateries, the Gelateria Toscana. Here you can get, surprise, surprise, gelato. I love gelato. Gelato is one of my, well, I love ice cream in general, but I love gelato, specifically Italian ice cream. Fun fact, I was actually here for opening day of the Gelateria Toscana back, I don't know, 2 years ago probably now. And I was able to be one of the first 10 people to get a gelato right here. We're gonna have to walk towards the back end of the pavilion in order to find the rest of our food. First up on the left, we're gonna have Tutto Italia. And here are some of their menu highlights. But my favorite place to eat in Italy is Via Napoli. And this is going to be a place where you can get pizza primarily. They do have pasta in there as well, and usually when we come here, we have to order a pizza, and the pizzas are huge. We never ordered the mezzo, that's like the biggest one that they have, but they're not their smallest one, they're one in between. We ordered that pizza, and it's usually good for a family of 5, and I say 5, me, my wife, my 2 kids, and my mother usually accompanies us to Walt Disney World. And those pizzas will feed all of us just fine. They're huge pizzas. But we often get a side of pasta as well because my boys love pasta. And depending on the pizza, they can be kind of picky. So we get the pasta to make everybody happy. It's time to come to Germany. Who can resist going to see the trains, even on a food tour? Here in Germany, we're just gonna start on the right-hand side. They have this little beer window where you can get a jumbo pretzel and frozen slushy along with some alcoholic beverages. Then back here on the right is going to be the entrance to Summerfest. And Summerfest is this little window right here. It does have mobile order available, and here's a look at their menu. Sharing the same space as that is the entrance to Biergarten, the table service restaurant here in Germany. Biergarten is a buffet, and inside they have a stage and there's like a little show. You're not always guaranteed to see the show. I have eaten there. It's actually got really good food. I was quite surprised at the level of the quality of food in there when I did come. I wasn't wild on doing it. My family wanted to do it. We went and we did it, and I enjoyed it. And we keep saying we want to go back, we want to go back, we want to go back. And every time we plan a Walt Disney World trip, it's like, oh, let's go to Biergarten this time. And we put it on the docket. We put it on the schedule. And then when it comes time to it, we choose to go somewhere else. I don't know why. Is that just us? Is that telling you something? I mean, I think the Biergarten restaurant is pretty good, but I'm just telling you what we do. It's probably because it's a buffet, and I tend to like to order off of menus just because I like the choice of, I mean, I know buffets have choices, but maybe you get my idea. Also, I'm wasted on buffets. I eat 1 plate, maybe a half after that. I doubt I can get 2 full plates in, and I'm full. If you love caramel, make sure you come to Caramel Couche. In here, you're able to order a variety of treats. And by far, the caramel butter bar is the most popular thing to get here, and it is amazing. Well, this little area here isn't an official pavilion, but it is the African area of EPCOT. And straight ahead, you're gonna see the refreshment outpost. Here you can get a pineapple skewer with Tajin seasoning, as well as an ice cream float and some alcoholic beverages. Additionally, they have a hot dog, ice cream, and frozen slushies. I have ordered a frozen Coke from the refreshment outpost more times than I would like to admit. But I have a hot tip for you. Please buy your frozen Cokes somewhere else. Buy them at Club Cool. Buy them at, Magic Kingdom or wherever. The cups for Refreshment Outpost are really small, and I feel like the prices are the same. Maybe they're not, maybe I'm just remembering that wrong, but the prices are the same, and the cup is smaller, so you get less in it. It's just better off buying your frozen Coke some other place. Maybe they get you because you're walking around the World Showcase, you're hot, and, Club Cool's really far away. Now we're entering my second favorite pavilion, China. And I had to come over here and film the pandas for Benjamin. My youngest son, he loves pandas. Right on the left, we have a little booth called the Joy of Tea. And here, of course, you're going to find tea, but you're also going to get specialty cocktails.
Yeah, you just took it all up top. That's what you get for taking it all up top.
They also have egg rolls for sale. On the corner of the pavilion here, we have Nine Dragons. Nine Dragons is their table service restaurant here in the China Pavilion. And I've read a lot of reviews, and a lot of people don't like Nine Dragons. They say it's just Chinese food, American Chinese food, mind you, that you can really get anywhere outside the park. And while that might be true, I find that the fact that there's hardly ever any line here means that you can just do a walk-up list, or it's very easy to get a reservation. And I do think the food is pretty good. They have a Shangri-La slushie that I also really enjoy here at Nine Dragons. And this is a place that's become a favorite of my family as well in recent years. We didn't go to it for the longest time, but in recent years we've been eating here at Nine Dragons. However, their quick service right next door, Lotus Blossom Cafe, isn't really all that great. That being said, it has pretty standard food for Chinese, and if this is like comfort for you because you can count on it to be, what you'd expect, then yeah, come here. I've eaten here before. It's been, I think, since my honeymoon since I've eaten here, honestly. And it's not bad food. There's just a lot better food throughout the park. Time for Norway. We've got Kringla, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But over here off to our right is Akershus. And as it says here at Akershus, if I'm pronouncing that right as well, Princess Storybook Dining. This is a character dining restaurant with a family-style platter. So you can see the different foods they have available here. The pricing is like $63 for adults, $41 for children for lunch and dinner, and breakfast is a little bit cheaper. However, it doesn't appear to be open at this exact moment. Today it's got some really weird hours. I just looked at the app and it said 2:45 p.m. to 8:05 p.m. That's pretty strange. That's why it's not open right now. And then we have the Kringla Bakery Og Cafe. This place has some really good pastry. The school bread is like the classic thing you have to get. But then they also have the sweet Kringla with almonds. And they have a chocolate Kringla and the apple cake. And our final pavilion is Mexico. We've got some live music going on over here at the moment. But there's a lot of food in here. But full disclosure, I have never eaten at any of these locations. The first is La Hacienda de San Angel. And here's just a look at their menu. For your reference, that is located right across from the pyramid. It's not open right now. Check the hours, make sure that you know, well, you should have reservations for a place like this. So make reservations at a time. That'd be the best way to know when it opens. This next one is on the other side of the pavilion, and that's going to be the La Cantina de San Angel. And here is a look at what they have here. So this is a quick service dining location. And they do have a pretty picturesque seating area right here on the World Showcase Lagoon. This could be your view from La Cantina de San Angel. They do have additional seating inside. And right across the way from there is Choza de Margarita. And here's a look at their menu. You have some food there too, not just margaritas. Now it's time to head inside the pyramid. You'll first be greeted by a market in this picturesque little village scene, but beyond it is a restaurant, and it's called the San Angel Inn. And the San Angel has tables that are right next to the Grand Fiesta Tour attraction. So as you eat, you can watch the Grand Fiesta Tour go by. And this is a look at their menus. They've got some soups, some signature drinks, and then a variety of Mexican-type dishes for you to try. Of course, none of the prices are on here because they don't want you to know the price before you get in. Another alcohol location, we have a La Cava del Tequila de San Angelo. And there's so many things on this menu that I'm not going to really be able to show it to you, but that's located in here. Well, that's it for our time here at EPCOT today, giving you the ultimate food guide. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button and check out more of my Walt Disney World content. We'll have food guides, ride guides, and more. Hope to see you around.